What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and Porsha and Larsa Pippen are trying to bait Tamron Hall into a fight, and Tamron is not having it.
You damn right, and I will not come off my chariot and throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart.
Like the videos my intro plays because we got a lot to talk about.
Make it make sense. Could somebody please make it make sense?
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Y'all. I love Tamron Hall. To be honest with you, I think that she's a breath of fresh air. I like what she does on her show. She's not going to have a reality star on her show and not talk about what we want to talk about. Does it remind y'all of anybody? Wendy Williams literally would ask people the questions that we wanted to know. And so is Tamron. So the fact that these reality stars are really coming at her is kind of like, you went on the show. So this is what Larsa had to say. She was very negative and judgmental. Her tone and facial expressions indicated she never wanted to have a fair conversation. If she wants to audition for Housewives, I know somebody. I mean, you're not even the star of your own show on Bravo. You're part of an ensemble cast, and a lot of people say they could take or leave you. But let's really get into this, because this is what happened on Tamron. I want you guys to hear it. And I just think it was a fair question.
Why would you date Michael Jordan's son, knowing that it's been pretty clear that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan didn't have this relationship people thought, and certainly don't have it now? Scottie has come out publicly and said that this documentary that was produced by Michael Jordan made him.
Yes, Larsa is dating Scottie's son, 16 years younger. That's not the issue.
He says, I was nothing more than a prop. His best teammate of all time. He called me. He couldn't have been more condescending if he tried.
I can't basically explain how someone else feels. That's how Scottie feels. He has a right to the way he feels. I personally don't really care about what, other people, I feel like I live my truth. I'm happy.
You see how she stumbled over that? She doesn't care how Scottie feels. And if that's the case, then that's what you should say, right? You're supposed to be this straight shooter, Larsa. Then just say it. You don't care how Scottie felt. You saw this dude, he's connected to a lot of money, and you went for it. Period. Done. But that stumble, I don't care what what other people think. But Scottie's supposed to be your best friend, because that's what she always claims. Oh, me and Scottie are best friends.
Happy. I feel like we get along. He's my best friend. And so
Marcus is your best friend.
Yeah, I feel like we have a lot in common.
But as I was saying, you could date anybody in the world. Why date Michael Jordan's son?
I didn't plan it like that. It wasn't like it was planned like that. I think we were just together a lot with our friends, and it just so happened. It wasn't like something I planned. You got to remember, I feel like for me being, married to someone that was an athlete or whatever, it's really hard. You get scrutinized a lot. People don't think you should have a life once you get divorced. They think once you're divorced, you're done. And I feel like I've overcome so many different obstacles, because I feel like I should have love. I should be able to date who I want. I should be able to live.
That's true, but I don't think anybody was saying your life was over. You were still hanging out with Kim Kardashian. You were pictured everywhere. I think that was a cop-out. And Tamron wasn't here for it.
Just happy and go, just go wherever I want to go and not be judged every time I'm seen with someone.
You should. I'm curious, because when you start dating someone,
it's hard.
It is hard. It's also hard meeting their parents. Have you met Michael Jordan and Juanita Jordan, and what did they say about the relationship?
I don't really, of course, I recently have met, I've recently been hanging out with them.
Now, I don't think that Juanita was cool with this. And let me tell you why. I think that her boyfriend's new stepmom was cool with that, because I think that for her boyfriend's new stepmom, Larsa Pippen was the GOAT. They even look alike. Am I wrong? Larsa was the blueprint for her to get Michael Jordan. So, yeah, I think she met her. But do I think that the classy, sophisticated Juanita is cool on Larsa? Not at all. Larsa and Juanita probably went to high school together. Sorry. The point is, I just don't believe Larsa. And moreover, I mean, she morphed into Kim Kardashian. She pretends like she never had any of the stuff done that we all know that she had done, allegedly. Don't sue me. I just don't see it for Larsa. I think that sometimes she's funny on her show, but for the most part, I'm not like feeling it. And I also don't agree with what she was saying. She's negative and judgmental. She asked the questions that everybody wanted to hear. I mean, you guys can put in the comment, am I wrong? Did Larsa not morph into Kim Kardashian? This was not your face, your body, nothing. And she doesn't own any of it. She even said that she had, how do I put this? Y'all, I try to stay monetized. She and Scotty 4 times a day, every day for 23 years. Y'all, I did the math. And that comes out to, in 23 years, you did it 33,580 times. I don't believe you. Cardi came out. I was going to put the clip of what Cardi had to say, but there was a whole bunch of references that would get me demonetized. So I can't do that. But basically, nobody believes you. You make up these fantastical stories. Let me say this. If you were doing it that many times in 23 years, Larsa, loose lips sink ships. Now, y'all do with that as you may. Anyway, so Porsha, Porsha had also come out and said some things about her. Let me let you guys hear what Porsha had to say really quickly. Y'all know that Porsha is probably, more adept at talking about her because Porsha is a journalist just like Tamron Hall.
I work for Dish Nation. I am in the world of journalism. So my word.
Then we'll get on to Quad and why I think she took a pay cut.
Front. Right. The people in the front, those are our back people. Those are people who hold us up. So I think that's where she let down the entire Breakfast Club. Mm-hmm. And that's where if she probably had a chance instead of talking to Tamron, mm-hmm. she would have been able to expound on that. But when you have someone like a Tamron talking.
And
to you and she's giving you accolades and mm-hmm. she's, raising you up to do nothing but set you up to say something that's going to be catchy mm-hmm. and she can look like a journalist, then that's where you find Angela in this place, trending for the wrong thing.
What you said just now is interesting.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys behind the scenes, what does this do? If they were able to get Tamron off her chariot and actually respond to the things she said, that would trend. These two women know that talking about Tamron will A, get them some attention, and B, try to nudge her into some type of public display. And Tamron has been very, very clear on that. Tamron says,
I'm the tree, and you are a branch. No,
she's not going to.
You damn right, and I will not come off that chariot and throw tomatoes with you, sweetheart.
She won't, because she is actually a journalist and she knows what they're trying to do. If the questions that she asked Porsha were about her fiance, husband, that's why Porsha trended. Outside of her marriage and what happened between her, Fallon, and Simon, there really wasn't much to discuss. But anyway, let's get on to Quad. Now, guys, I like Quad. I actually do like Quad. I would have loved to see Quad and Mariah back on the show, but I called it like I see it. Quad, let me show you guys who reported this because I like to cite my sources. Deadline says, Quad Ware returning to Married Metis season 10 on Bravo. Quad is returning to Married to Metis in season 10. Deadline has learned that despite hints that Webb was not coming back to the Bravo franchise, the television personality and entrepreneur is on board for the 10th season. Webb has been a part of the reality series since it debuted back in 2013. Now, here's the thing, guys. I think Quad wanted too much money to return. There's no way that they would have casted Quad's ex-husband without the expectation that Quad was going to return to the show. However, they did add Heavenly to the cast, and there are new cast members. Plus, typically, the old cast members are getting raises every year. So you have a certain budget. And Married to Medicine, although I love it and I watch it, I don't think it's one of their top rated shows. Would it be great television to see Quad have to interact with Greg, and his new fiance or wife now? Yes, that would be great, but they're not willing to pay her that. So Quad did everything that she could. There was a whole bunch of Instagram posts, and then she started more recently replying to people asking her if she was on Married to Medicine. I broke the story 3 weeks ago now that Quad was not on Married to Medicine and they had been filming. Think about this, guys. This is exactly what happened to Nene. They started cutting Nene out of scenes so she had less episodes. So she technically had to take a pay cut. They have been filming the series for a minute. Quad was not in it. And I think Bravo said, we don't need you. So Quad had to come back to the table. So my speculation, and this is just my opinion, but I think that they kept her at the same rate that she was paid, but they're going to be paying her for less episodes, which means she took a pay cut to come back on this show. And for me personally, the reason that I'm kind of disappointed in Quad specifically is I really rooted for her. I liked her, I liked her from day one. I thought she was funny. I thought she was pretty. I thought like Quad was it. I also really like Mariah. The problem that I had with Quad was once she got Married to Medicine. Again, it was very similar to Nene. Not Married to Medicine, my apologies. Once she got Sister Circle, I think that she felt that solidified her and put her in a different class. And so that's how she treated the other cast members and interacted with them. The problem is your other cast members are successful doctors. So it's not like you coming on and being part of Sister Circle really elevated you more than somebody who is, I don't know, saving lives in the case of Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone. So it was weird. And it almost felt like she was phoning it in that season. And then, Bravo didn't need her. So I'm glad that Quad is back. I'm interested to see if her and her ex can have some sort of meeting of the minds and work it out. Quad is very funny. Quad is a staple on that show. But I definitely feel like Quad took a pay cut. And she can spin it however she wants. Nene tried to do the same thing into the lawsuit. But at the end of the day, Married to Medicine is your bread and butter. You just bought a new home. Nobody technically really knows your finances and how you can afford it without Married to Medicine. So Quad, keep entertaining us on Married to Medicine and stop acting like a diva. But you guys can put in the comments what you think. I will talk to you guys later. Oh, I will link my video that I did with Scotty and Aaron. We did like top 5 housewives. And of course, Aaron, House of Aaron is very much a Porsha stan, and I am very much not. So that was funny. There was some fireworks. Check out that video, and I will see you guys later.